This Christmas season, you can make a child happy by getting special UNICEF holiday cards featuring designs of Filipino artist Mauro Malang Santos. Now, to tell us more about this, we have UNICEF Philippines Cristina Bertolino and art critic Cid Reyes. Thank you for joining us here in the studio.
Magandang gabi, Mai. Thank you so much for having us.
Magandang gabi. Okay, let's start with these cards. No, it's the Christmas season. Christmas is just around the corner. And Cristina, tell us how important is it to make children, especially the vulnerable children, feel that they belong with the holiday festivities?
Absolutely. You know, children are our future, our priority, so it's very important to be there for them, to support them whenever we can. So this year, UNICEF has launched a limited edition Christmas cards featuring the masterful work of Mauro Malang Santos. And this continue a long-standing tradition to partnering with renowned and very, very masterful artists that have given their time and talent willingly in support of our programs.
And beautiful cards, I must say. Tell us, how can these cards help the children?
Sure. You know, UNICEF relies on voluntary contribution to continue its work in support of vulnerable children. So every time you make a donation, you'll be able to change a life. Every time you make a donation, doesn't matter how small, you will be able to make an impact through life-saving interventions. And let me give you an example. With a donation of at least 1,000 peso, you will be able to help children recovering from malnutrition. You'll be able to help children better accessing education support and resources. You will be able to vaccinate children so that they can be protected from diseases. And of course, we can be there as UNICEF for the children in case of emergencies with support and life-saving supplies.
Definitely. Well, like you said, UNICEF has long launched this initiative in featuring the works of renowned artists for their holiday cards. And Cid, tell us how important is the role of art in these kinds of initiatives in helping the state of the vulnerable?
Well, you know, the Filipinos are a very artistic people, and art is a way of getting everyone together, and it disseminates information on the festivity, for example, of Christmas. And we know, of course, that we celebrate Christmas in our country as early as September, when the so-called bear months, you know, come around. And September, October, November, we Filipinos are already gearing up for the great holiday of Christmas. And despite the social media, the tradition of sending cards to friends has always been there. I don't think that tradition will fade away. And for this year, UNICEF has chosen a couple of works from the private collection of the Malang Santos family, and these are these two works. One is entitled Family in the Barrio, and the other one is the iconic subject matter of Mr. Malang, which are the vendors, no? So Mr. Malang, of course, aside from being an excellent artist, is for me an ideal representative for this year, because Mr. Malang himself is a great family man.
Yeah. Well, Cristina, tell us about the process in choosing from the so many works of the renowned and the award-winning cartoonist, the illustrator, and painter Malang.
Sure. And as Cid said, I mean, Malang was a very, very easy choice. He really blends very well with our mission, with UNICEF mission. And if you look at this one, which is Family in Barrio, you can really see the bond that the Filipino have over Christmas when the family come together and there is this sense of joy and giving back.
Yes.
And you know, it's not just giving back to your immediate family members, but it's really sharing the blessing. And this year, with this limited edition UNICEF cards, you'll be able to sharing the blessing with vulnerable children in the Philippines.
Exactly, and Filipino families love to come together for Christmas, especially, right? Cid, can you tell us the significance of choosing Malang's art for this initiative and for such a noble cause?
Well, Malang, of course, is familiar to most Filipinos. And you know, even the ordinary jeepney driver or taxi driver, they all know who Malang is. I mean, when you mention the name Malang, they know that he is a Filipino artist. And I think that the choice of the two pieces, especially from the family in the barrio and the vendors, from the private collection of the Malang Santos family, is very indicative of the connection of the Malang family towards the family and towards their advocacy to help the causes of UNICEF, which is the protection of the vulnerable children.
Well, the UNICEF cards featured in the past the works of the artists, the Filipino designer Roberto Alejandro,
Exactly, yes.
and national artist Larry Alcala. So
yes.
how do these artists capture the Filipino experience, especially during the holidays?
Well, you know, art is really the visible means of crystallizing Filipino emotion. The same, of course, goes for music. And the beautiful thing about Christmas cards is that there is a permanence to their material, you know, because you can keep these two beautiful artworks long before 2023 Christmas season has passed. You can have this
They're
framed.
lifetime keepsakes.
Absolutely, you can have them framed, and you know, and they make beautiful artistic presence in your own living room. So Malang, of course, his art has always been part of the Filipino setting. His favorite subject, of course, is the family, and the vendor, of course, which was inspired by Malang's own mother. In fact, the iconography, the design of most Malang's women were based on the attire of his mother, who had her own sari-sari store right in front of the house. So that everything interconnects with Malang, both the family, the familiar, the personal, and then into the upper aesthetic level of his art. Yeah.
Beautiful works, definitely.
Absolutely.
And Cristina, tell us, how can our viewers get their hands on these cards?
It's very, very easy, Mai. You just need to visit our website, which is donate.unicef.ph, or you can call our donor care team at 02-8462-6246, or you can reach out on Facebook, on Twitter, just drop us a message and we'll get back to you.
Get
Very,
the
very easy.
cards,
Yes,
have
you can
something
get-
of Malang for yourself, right? You can keep it for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yes, and help the children. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Cristina and Cid.
Maraming salamat.